Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Star Wars San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Luke Skywalker Jedi Destiny set. This is really neat. I don't know why the card back is so tall. I feel like it doesn't need to be, but I love how shiny this packaging is. I mean, that's just really fun. You can see here it has kind of Luke like throughout the original saga. You have the Luke in the Stormtrooper disguise from A New Hope. X-Wing pilot, technically he did also wear at the end of A New Hope, but he also wears it in Empire Strikes Back. And then, of course, you have him in his Jedi Knight costume from Return of the Jedi. So, very cool. These are the 3.75 inch figures that are super articulated. Usually they come in like the retro card packaging. It's kind of neat. Like, it's come to the point where like Star Wars has like the normal 5 points of articulation, which they're kind of using for resistance, and then they have the like souped up 3.75 figures with the, I don't even know how many points of articulation these have, but it's a lot. And then of course you have the 6-inch Black Series. So it's kind of neat. It's kind of like they have something for everyone. Like, if you want a budget figure, just the 5 points of articulation. If you love the smaller scale but you want a bunch of articulation, you have these, and then you have the Black Series. So I was really happy that they did an exclusive in this size and the Black Series as well. They actually did two different Black Series exclusives. They did the new red Sith Trooper, and they did a Boba Fett colored in the original 70s toy color scheme, which is really neat. I wanted to try to get that one, but I was not able to. They sold out crazy fast. That was just ridiculous how fast they went, but Boba Fett's super popular, so it makes sense. On the side here, again, more super shiny packaging. On the back, very nice kind of, I don't want to say mosaic, but just kind of a Luke through the ages collage of pictures, I guess. It's kind of hard to see because of how shiny it is, but it's definitely very neat, and I like the picture a lot. Again, I don't know why this is so long. I feel like, you know what it probably is, honestly? It's probably just because to pack these in a case, they wanted to just do double the length again, so that way they could just put like one on top of it and put them in a case very nice and easy. That's honestly probably why it is, because there's really no reason for this to be so tall. It's kind of goofy. But packaging, very nice, very sparkly, very fun. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys out of here and we'll take a closer look. Here are the three figures out of the packaging, and I have to say, aesthetically, I think they all look fantastic. They even have a decent job of looking like Mark Hamill. I think the likenesses that they molded into these are actually pretty impressive. He actually looks pretty nice. There we go. That was just some schmutz there. Get that off. Okay. So, yeah. First up, we'll take a look at the Stormtrooper armor. I think he looks great. He's got the spot holder here for the gun, which I love. Let's go ahead and see. This almost seems like it's too small, but I think it'll fit in here. Maybe. It's kind of like oddly solid when you would expect it to be like soft plastic. So that's weird. I'm sure if I finagle it a little bit, I could maybe loosen it up a little bit. I don't know why this seems like such hard plastic. It's definitely thrown me for a loop, but I'll try that again a little bit later. That should be able to fit in there. It can fit in his hand with very little difficulty. Certainly much easier than that holster there. And I think the level of detail looks really nice. You even have these little like cables and silver bits on the belt that are all plugged in. Articulation is very nice. You have a ball joint in the head. I think it's actually two. I don't notice it as much on this one, but on the flight suit, there's a ball joint. It's like a barbell, basically. One ball joint goes into the base of the neck, one connects to the head. So it's kind of like two ball joints. There's a nice shoulder movement here. At the elbow, you have kind of a normal hinge and swivel, very similar to what's in the shoulder. You have a kind of ball joint here in the chest. The legs, you just have to be a little careful with, because the joint that would have the legs like kick forward doesn't naturally, like, you could leave it like that if you wanted to, but they kind of have it swiveled in towards the body, so you don't want to just pull the leg straight up because there's no bend there. You have to rotate it until the bend joint is visible, and then you could have it kick up like that if you needed it to. Pretty similar joint in the knee, swivel and bend, and then the ankles as well. Now some of these, like this one, doesn't seem like it has a problem bending. This one seems very tight. A couple of these joints across these figures really don't seem like they want to move at all. Like, you can see the joints there, but it's hard to move them. Comes with a helmet, of course. Pop that right over top, and he looks like a full-fledged Stormtrooper. It's a little difficult to get the helmet back off, but it can be done. But he definitely looks excellent in the full Stormtrooper armor. Next up, we have Luke in his flight suit. And again, I think the figure looks great. You have the piece of equipment on his chest, all very nicely detailed. Again, I think they did a pretty good job with the likeness of Mark Hamill. Really not bad. This was the one where I noticed, like, you can see, and I could probably even just take this off. You can see that it's like two barbells inside the, well, I should say it's not two barbells. It's a barbell with two ball joints. So that's in the head, and that one doesn't seem to move around all that much. There we go. But the connection to the neck is a little weird. So, like, there we go, it's fine. But then, like, I caught it, like, really moved over to the side, and it looked really unnatural. And I was able to get it back. So, I don't know. It's a little weird, but overall, I think it's good. Shoulders are nice. Shoulders on all three are actually pretty consistent, and the elbows are nice as well. Wrist has a swivel and a kind of upward, downward, but it's a little tight. Same ball joint in the chest there. Same thing with the legs. You would want to rotate this around, but the thing is, because of the jumpsuit, you kind of have to be careful because this gray piece is connected everywhere. But you could, like, if you wanted to put him in the cockpit of a vehicle or something, you could make it happen. Just have to be wary and utilize your thigh swivel so that these gray things don't bunch up. Now, the problem with this guy, when I come down to his knees, I can't make the knees bend. And I'm really nervous because I have really bad luck with forcing especially leg joints. See the previous video for my Skeletor. So I really don't want to force it. He's got decent... I think it's honestly just like paint, and paint is just kind of tight. I'm not sure. Maybe if I boil it, it would loosen everything up a little bit. But, like, I can definitely spin the legs side to side, no problem. But actually getting him to bend at the knee, it's not happening. I really don't want to force it. He does come with the helmet, which is... Could put a speck of paint there. Beautifully detailed, and this is a softer plastic. See, this is the kind of softer plastic that I expected the gun holster on the Stormtrooper to be made out of. But if you put this on, and then pull the chin strap down, there we go. I think it actually looks pretty great. And I don't know why. You can see, though, the head is kind of loose on mine because of that weird neck connection. But overall, I think it looks good. I really like the helmet. I think the chin strap works. And it stays on him pretty decently. So overall, I really like the helmet. I forgot to show off that he also comes with the little pistol. And he's actually got a finger that fits into the trigger on the gun, which is really nice. I wish he had a little compartment on the side of his leg to put the gun into when he's not using it. But other than that, pretty solid little figure. Really nicely detailed. He's got a lot of great articulation points. Like I said, I'm just really worried about my knees because they really don't even look like they want to move. I mean, when I look at, like, I'm assuming this, like, ridged piece here is actually the joint that moves. But you can see, like, it doesn't even look like there's space in the plastic of the leg for it to move into. It just looks kind of like a solid piece. So it's very strange. But other than that, it's a pretty solid figure. Looks good, nicely detailed, and I like the accessories that he comes with a lot. I do kind of wish he came with Anakin's lightsaber that he used in Empire Strikes Back, but that's my only accessory complaint. And also, he likes to kind of, like, I'm trying to get him to, see, I wish if he could bend at the knee, it would make it a little bit easier for him to stand, but he can kind of bend at the ankles, so I just kind of have to pitch him forward a little bit. It's not terrible, but pretty good. Alright, last but certainly not least, we have Luke in his Jedi robes. I think they did a nice job with this. I like the cloth cape, cloak, whatever you want to call it. I think it looks good. I remember when I was a kid, I had the same version of this from A Power of the Force, and the whole like cloak was made of kind of a soft rubber plastic, and you just kind of like slid it down until it kind of like not snapped, but it found a spot where like it naturally stopped because it was kind of form fitted to the figure. And I thought that worked. I thought that was okay, but I kind of like the cloth. You can kind of do a little bit more with the cloth. It slides off pretty easily. Just make sure it doesn't get caught under his chin, and then you can kind of put that off to the side. And it's a nice figure. Again, I think they did a nice likeness of Mark Hamill. Otherwise, the costume is great. Again, you have the same shoulders. You have the same ball joint in the head. The elbows are good. Same wrist movement. He doesn't have that same kind of wobbly chest that the other two have. He just has like a swivel, which is fine. I think it works. Leg can kind of go out to the side, or you can turn this if you wanted him to sit for some reason. His knees, I believe, are okay. I was using these earlier. Let's see. Yes, he does have knees that bend. There we go. I'm trying to remember if I had problems with the ankles. I think the ankles on this one didn't want to move. Yeah, they're a little tight, and again, I just don't want to break them, so I'm going to let it go. He's got this really cool little pistol. Get this into his hand. And again, he's got one finger raised. Fits perfectly in the trigger for the gun. I love that. And then, of course, he's got his lightsaber. See, the only problem is I have trouble with his feet. He doesn't like to stand all that much, but we'll get it. Here is the lightsaber. Really nice detail on the hilt. See if I can get that to focus. There we go. Really nice. Really nice paint. And then, of course, the blade looks great. We'll go ahead and put this in his other hand. It's a little difficult to get him to, and I realize you're not seeing any of this, so it's a little difficult to get the lightsaber into his hand, but not impossible. There we go. So I'm not great at posing figures, but we'll do something like this, where he's got the gun and the lightsaber. Maybe something like that. Looks pretty good. I think all three of these are pretty great. They're definitely not perfect, and I think it's just because some of them have some QC issues. But overall, I really like the look of them. The detail is very nice. The amount of articulation you get is good. The accessories are nice. I think Return of the Jedi Luke is probably my favorite. He comes with a lightsaber. He looks great in the Jedi robes. I love the inclusion of the cloth cloak. I think is really nice. The gun that he comes with is excellent. I love it when they position the hands to have the one trigger finger kind of extended so it fits perfectly into the accessory like that does. Flight suit Luke, very similar. He also has the trigger finger for the gun. The gun itself looks great. The flight suit looks great, nicely detailed. The helmet is fantastic, fits on and off very easily and looks good. Again, mine has some weird knee things, but that's probably just mine. If I really felt braver, I would try to force the joints, but I don't. So I'm like, he's got 2 legs right now. I'm gonna leave him like that. But so as long as yours doesn't have any kind of weird too tight joints, it's a great figure. And the same with the Stormtrooper armor. I think they did an excellent job, very nicely detailed. The holster for the gun on the back is great. I just wish it was a little bit easier to get the gun in and out of it. But he's also got great articulation. I don't really have too many QC problems with him either as far as his joints go. And all 3 of them have, I think, pretty good likenesses for Luke Hamill throughout the years. They did a nice job. I will say the head on my flight suit Luke is a little weird as well. But again, a few tiny QC issues. They don't ruin the figures. They're just annoying. But overall, they're great figures. They look good. Nice detailing, paint, accessories. My biggest complaint is I wish the flight suit Luke came with Anakin's lightsaber, but I guess he never really... Well, that's not true. At the beginning of... I was going to say he never actually used it in the flight suit, but that's not true. At the beginning of Empire, when he's taking out the AT-ATs, he does use the lightsaber very temporarily to open up the bottom and throw that bomb in. So there you go. He should have come with the lightsaber. But it just would have been neat to have both versions of his lightsaber in this set. I feel like it would have been even more all-encompassing. Honestly, if it was me, I would have done a 4th Luke in the Bespin outfit, that kind of tan, jacket and pants, and then throw the Anakin lightsaber in with that and do it as a 4-pack. I think that would have been really cool. But I do like what they chose here. I just, hey, who wouldn't want more? In any case, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.